Hey, soldiers and warriors. This is your sister Fire. I'm back with another video real quick, my brothers and sisters. And this is something I want to talk to y'all about that I think is like very important, very needed, very necessary message and topic that I'm bringing up right now. Because it's very vital to our well-being. Okay, it's very vital to our well-being, my brothers and sisters. Okay, and welcome back to the channel. I just jumped right on in there, but before I do, get into the message, I do want to welcome you all back to my channel, y'all. God is so good. The channel is steadily growing, and that means that is more souls out there. That is possibly more people that are connected to my tribe, so that's awesome. And so I just want to let y'all know that I appreciate y'all. Okay, now with that being said, let me get back into the message. So I believe that this is a very vital message because it has a lot to do with our well-being as beings, as human beings, okay? And so what I want to talk about is how it is okay to cry, my brothers and sisters. It is okay to cry. It is okay to let out those emotions that we feel that a lot of times, a lot of us bottle up inside, okay? Because I know that a lot of men, particularly, but some women too, may have been raised to believe that it's not okay to cry, especially for a man. Okay, and that is so not true. Because let me tell you something, my brothers and sisters. What happens when you have pressure build up? Pressure, it busts pipes. Okay, so if you are holding back all of these emotions, all of these feelings, and they're all bottled up inside, over time, they are going to gradually gather more and more, build more and more. And eventually, if you do not release those emotions, those feelings, those tears, you will explode. At some point, if you do not release that pain, those tears, you will eventually explode. And it won't be in a good way, okay? Because that could come out in anger, which could get you into some type of altercation, some type of fight, could even cause unaliving, could possibly cause you to end up incarcerated, okay? And I'm speaking about, of course, if you do not release that pressure that is built up inside of you from all of those emotions that has come from all types of things, heartbreaks, just being frustrated in general at just things that go on in life, anger, resentment, whatever has caused you to have those emotions that would make you want to cry and need to cry. That's what I'm talking about. And I rebuke that in the name of Jesus over all of my brothers and sisters, that any of those things would happen to them. But we just gonna be real, because here on this channel, I keep it real, I keep it true. Okay? Because the only way to grow is to take accountability for our actions and for ourselves. Okay? And to make positive changes. Okay. So yes, we all go through this. We all have these types of feelings. But not everybody knows how to release that pain, to release those emotions that usually come out in tears. Okay. And so it's very important for us to release that, my brothers and sisters. There is nothing wrong with crying. If there were, God wouldn't even made it to where we could cry. Okay? That is, it's a reason why he designed us to be able to cry. Because we have to release all of those negative emotions. And sometimes we even cry over positive things like tears of joy. But in that sense, you know, it's usually not a buildup. I'm talking about those pain tears. Those tears of pain. Okay? So we must release those, my brothers and sisters. It's okay to cry. It's okay. And people have different ways of relieving their pain, relieving their stress, relieving those emotions. I mean, you can work out. You can take walks. Okay. Some people like to use sex. Okay. And of course that is okay as long as it's done properly, you know, and not excessively to try to band-aid an emotional issue. Okay. Because if you start becoming a sex addict, now you're trying to use sex to cover pain. Okay? That's what's happening. You're trying to use that as a band-aid to cover some type of pain. The same way drug addicts would use drugs to cover up some type of pain that needs to be released, and released in the proper way. Okay? And I'm not judging anyone. I'm just talking about just bringing out the facts, bringing out the truth. Okay. No disrespect to anyone. And that's why I talk about these sort of topics, so that we can put it all out on the table, sort it out, and put things in its proper place, so that we can grow from it, so we can learn from it, and so that we can grow from it, my brothers and sisters. I always bring every message out of love. Everyone. Okay? Every message is out of love. And it's to help us learn, and it's to help us grow, and it's to help us relate with one another as well. Okay? And of course, even avoid certain mistakes, because sometimes we can learn from another just by watching, just by listening. And if we pay attention, certain people help us to not make a certain mistake in life, just by watching, paying attention, and listening. It can save us from potentially going through something that someone else went through. Okay? So anyway, we have to release those emotions, my brothers and sisters. It's okay to cry. It is a part of our healing process. Okay? So once you cry and you release all of that emotion, all of that pain, frustration, or whatever it is that you may be going through, you will begin to feel better. You will begin to feel better because you are releasing all of that, my brothers and sisters. You are releasing it all. But if you keep holding it in, now you have to find another way to release all of that pain, to release all of that stress, to release all of that resentment, or whatever it is that you need to be releasing. And then usually people will turn to some of the things that I've already spoken about, drugs, sex, or something that is not good for us. Okay? And it'll come out in a way that, like I said, will not be good for us. Could potentially, land us in jail if it's something over anger, land us in trouble with our spouse if it's sex addiction, or with some type of incurable disease. I rebuke that in the name of Jesus, but that definitely can possibly happen if you are a sex addict. Okay? And so, when you cry, you are healing yourself. Okay? You are healing because you are releasing all of that stuff, and it's taking that weight up off of you. So it is healing you. Okay? Now, it may not be 100% of a total healing for you, but what I'm saying is a healing process. It's a process of healing. It's a point of healing for us. Okay? And it can definitely keep us out of sin, out of addictions, out of doing things that we should not be doing, according to the scriptures, of course. And if you need to just get in a room where nobody knows and go at it alone and cry on your own, go right ahead. Nobody has to know. But myself personally, I'm not afraid to cry in front of anyone. I'm just not. Because I know that crying is a part of the healing process. And so I'm just not willing to allow anyone to stop my healing process or to delay it. So a lot of times if I need to get it out, I'm going to get it out. Now, of course, if I know I can wait till I get home, and I don't have to do it in front of a whole group of people, then, I'm going to wait till I get home, But what I'm saying is, if it came down to it and I had to cry in front of somebody, baby, I'll cry in a second. Because I understand that is a part of my healing process, and I am not willing to hold that up. Because the quicker I can get that stuff up and out of me is the quicker that I am doing better. The quicker that I am healing. The quicker that I can move forward in life and not be carrying all these burdens on me. Yes, my brothers and sisters. It is necessary, because I don't want to turn and try to release that pressure in any other type of way that could possibly get me in trouble, whether someone is looking or not. Because one thing about sin is a lot of times you start a lot of sins out behind closed doors. But see, the trick of the enemy is to make you think that you have control of that thing, only to find out later that you've never had control over that thing. That thing had control over you. And that's called an addiction. Yes. And that's also called a demon. Because now once you are addicted to something, whatever it may be, you can be addicted to shopping. You can be addicted to eating. It is now something that you have no control over. And so you are now in demon possession. Because it has taken control over you. And so now you need deliverance. And see, if you're paying attention to what I'm saying, you see how the rabbit hole goes deep. Just from not releasing those emotions. And this particular topic, I'm talking about crying, because that's the natural way that God has designed for us to release those emotions. To release that buildup is by crying. So yes, my brothers and sisters, it's not a mushy, I know it sounds like a mushy gushy topic, but it really is not. Crying is a very natural thing. But a lot of us have been taught that it's not. A lot of us has been taught that you're soft, per se, if you cry. And what I would say to that is that, no, you're not soft if you cry. You're actually smart if you cry. Like I said, you don't have to do it in front of a lot of people. You don't have to do it in front of anyone if you don't want to. But I would recommend you get somewhere and you allow those emotions to roll out, allow that pain to come out. And you can even go into prayer, which is what I personally, myself, usually if I begin to cry, I go into prayer right after it or while I'm crying. Because at that point, it's a burden, something that is burdening me enough that I have to cry. And so now I need to take it in prayer and give it to God. Because a lot of times, too, we don't even realize how much we're taking on. How much something can affect us until we start crying. Until we start allowing those emotions to flow and roll and come out. A lot of times we don't even realize, man, I had all of that inside of me. Wow. I know this has happened to me a lot. A lot. Where I'll be like, wow, oh my gosh, I cried for an hour. I didn't even realize that I had all of this built up inside of me. So yes, I don't want any of you to end up, taking your anger out or taking your stress or your whatever you're going through, that buildup, that pressure out the wrong way. I strongly support you all crying to let it out. And it sounded so weird when I was just saying that. I strongly support you all crying. But like I said, it's the perception of it. You change your mindset. You change your life. And so, my brothers and sisters, there is nothing wrong with crying. It is what God has created for us to do to relieve that pressure. The natural, the natural way He made it for us to relieve that pressure. And so if you haven't been doing this, and you want to go ahead and try it, my brothers and sisters, I strongly suggest you try it. And I can guarantee you that you will definitely feel better after you do it. You will definitely feel that bit of healing that came to you from releasing those tears. I guarantee you will feel lighter because you have now released all of that pressure and all of those, burdens that were on your shoulders. And it will help you to be able to go on in a better way. Because you have dropped all those burdens. You have relieved all those pressures. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up, my brothers and sisters. I didn't even realize I was on here for about 20 minutes. But I did touch on a lot of little other nuggets and jewels that I hope that you all listened to and picked up. As always, my brothers and sisters, I love you all. I bring every message out of love. So I hope this has blessed someone. If it has blessed you, my brothers and sisters, go ahead and hit that like button so it can bless someone else. And with that being said, I love you all. And until next time.